FaZe has just lost to Heroic at IEM Dallas, eliminating them from the event, and this was Simple's reaction.
We lost against fucking bots. Fucking bots, heroic bots. Is how we will never lose to those bots.
Going into Dust 2, this was the talking point of the match. Was Heroic, who just dominated stage 1 of the major, actually bots? Or was this just Simple overreacting to a tough loss at IEM Dallas? Well, today we will finally get to see how crazy FaZe with Simple and Rain could actually be. In this match we saw a FaZe team eager to prove that a bootcamp and having Rain back was more than enough. We saw miraculous plays, a team dominating the other, amazing calls and coordination for FaZe Clan. Welcome to the FaZe Masterclass. This is their comeback to the top. We are jumping into the pistol round to see how both teams will approach the round. FaZe are not really buying utility in this round, like at all. Why? Common for most CT teams in any pistol round is to at least have a smoke and a flash, so you can set up plays or retake. But FaZe has nothing like that, so what is going on here? Well, Dust 2 has two sides like all of the maps. And when you buy utility in the Dust 2 pistol round, it's all to set up either a long take early with flashes like this, or set up a B retake with a smoke like this, but FaZe are flipping it all around. As FaZe will send Rain alone to long to hold it. As when the T side wants to take long, they have to flash, and that can be an early indication for Rain to fall back and play safe. Meaning that FaZe needs no utility to take long. And then FaZe sends 3 players early to B side, just to full on take B main control. And that is why FaZe buys no utility, as it just straight up takes control over everything. Heroic on the other hand will buy a Molotov and 2 smokes, and this buy is perfect for both side takes and a mid take, as well as fakes. As on B you have to use 2 smokes to take sight, while over on A you can use 1 smoke for the cross and 1 for the plant or the hold. The reason the pistol round is such a key round is that by winning the pistol round it can predict the outcome of the match, as if FaZe wins the pistol round they can easily get a 3-0 lead or at least a 2-0 lead, while losing the pistol round puts you on the back foot and a lot of pressure for the buy round for the rest of the half. Heroics has all 5 players in the middle and fully taking control of it. With this door smoke here, and the fact they keep 1 player in drop here is to make sure he can spot if any FaZe players will cross from bottom mid to underground. But to give away that you have a player in drop, as well as the range fights, you are at a disadvantage versus the USPS. And that's why he will jump spot like this until his teammate can win top middle control, so FaZe can't spot him in drop, as he does not care about who crosses to B, as the goal to Heroic are not to figure out what happens on B, even though they should have maybe tried to spot what FaZe will be doing on B, as he sent 3 players to B. Heroic, after getting all 5 players to middle, will have the drop player use this Molotov to just make sure FaZe can't go for an early peek from short to middle. So FaZe are fully blocked out of middle, well almost. On all of this from Heroic, we will see FaZe still has Kerrigan and Rain in their same spots from the start, while the 3-man B take has gotten full on B main control. And when they can see Heroic are going for this mid take, as Rain can't see anything on long, we will see FaZe try to take lower control. And Heroic has to be ready for it, as it's so quiet all over the map. But will they expect this insane push to lower from FaZe? After you had a player not able to see anyone go lower from FaZe? And Linus, the IGL, is of course ready for this, and finds the kill with a great opening. But this peek is only done as on the jump spots from drop, there is a window of timing that he could have missed someone crossing to lower, and this peek from Linus is all to clear that, and not an insane read of the FaZe play. As after he gets this kill, Heroic does not care about lower anymore, and this is their mistake. Simple finds 2 kills back, with such a clean tap, as Heroic fully thought the leech would be the only one in lower. This has now forced Heroic to rush the catwalk take, and you know it's cooked when Kerrigan does this, as it's a hard fight to clear for the T side, as there's so much to check, and they had no early long control. But for Kerrigan, he could hear Heroic run, and just had to focus on the edges and play whack-a-mole with Heroic. And it's all left to Youngster in a 1v4 clutch. Something he could not do, as Simple finds his 3rd kill of the round. Stop scrolling. Want cheaper skins and quick cash? Let me put you on to Skin.Land, the easiest way to buy and sell skins safely and fast. Are you selling any skins? Use my code AGONOR to get a free $10 bonus on your first sale. Pick the skin you want to sell, choose your payment method, confirm the trade, and boom, your money is on the way. No risk, no waiting. Still using the Steam market? Let's compare. Same skin, same condition, different prices. Steam is pricey, Skin.Land way cheaper. Plus, you got multiple refill options for grabbing fresh, hot skins. So shout out to Skin.Land for sponsoring this video. Bookmark the site, claim your bonus, and don't overpay for skins ever again. Now, let's get back to the video. We are entering what we call the bonus round, as FaZe are saving their money and keeping the guns from the second round buy. As for them, this is just a bonus round, where they can keep the money and try their best to win with the weaker buy. Well, for Heroic, this is their chance to get back, as now they have the better buy, but they are missing a lot of utility. So here they want to just win the 1v1 fights versus FaZe, as they are favored in them with their better gun buy. Heroic starts with their mid boost here, but waits a bit before peeking out, as they don't want the crossplayer from FaZe to spot this play, as this gives away a lot of information early to FaZe about the buy, and seeing an open drop will tell you Heroic has prioritized bigger guns over utility. And here we can see it from Rain, when he crosses, as he can't see anyone and will call that drop is cleared. Heroic sends 2 players lower tunnels and 1 last player holding top, middle and long for any early aggression from FaZe. FaZe on the other hand will have Rain checking middle and going to B side using this Molotov to hold off any early pushes, then FaZe will send 3 players long using this flash here, as well as a Molotov in the opening, helping FaZe win full long control. And then they have a Leech as the final piece on short, as this allows FaZe not to have any players in mid early, as a Leech can hear and spot towards middle for FaZe. And a Leech will be jump spotting here, and by using the stairs he elevates himself more and can stay in the air longer to spot lower, and on the perfect timing he uses a nade. As he can't really see any players, but FaZe has a protocol that around 143 they assume Heroic will have some players in lower tunnels, and on the nade he fallbacks to the corner here. Frozen, after winning long control, will go to this off angle right here, as all FaZe are trying now is to use the guns to their advantage, as Frozen takes a clear off angle to find 1, maybe 2 kills before being traded, as this is the normal way of clearing CT without smoke, so you're not really checking for him. As well as the smoke spam is much easier, as this type of spam covers all of this, while if you hear where to spam like this, that is way more normal, you can only spam for 1 thinner line trying to get lucky. Frozen does a great smoke, as this was thrown right before Heroic got ready to take middle, as well as Frozen on this smoke will push up so he can hold this. Heroic are now forced back into a Leech who has a Molotov out, as the common way to deal with his position is to Molotov him on the corner like this, and that is why he has the Molotov out, as then he will Molotov them back so he can fall back safety, as if he were to smoke, Heroic could just have swung out of the smoke and dealt with him in the open and making him an easy target. A Leech jiggles and spots Heroic on short and uses Molotov to fall back, but Heroic are not going to go up cat, but here uses their default cross smokes from catwalk and lines up this flash to get 1 player from cat into spawn, while Heroic will then take mid control with the rest of their players. But what is FaZe counter to this? Well, as we can see, after FaZe smoked off long, we will see Kerrigan take this deep angle, meaning FaZe has full on long control, as well as Frozen on his smoke walked over to B, almost like FaZe are ready for Heroic to try this mid take to B play. And it's just a cleanup, as FaZe are able to get the fights they want to utilize for their guns. And it's all thanks to Rain. Youngster in B tunnels uses this lurk smoke and is met by a Molotov, and this should tell Heroic there are 2 players on B, as Rain used 1 Molotov early. So Youngster on the execute will peek out, but who will he peek, the side player or the player close, who is Rain? Well, he focuses the player close, as Rain makes enough sound to have the mid players of Heroic calling where Rain is, while he has no clue about Frozen towards sight, properly at least. But here before he peeks out he sees this smoke from sight, towards tunnels. So now before finishing his peek he changes up and goes for the side players, and this can ruin your whole plan. And we can see it by how he places his crosshair and can't win the fight. And the rest of Heroic falls after this. Round 5 I want to talk about this 4v3 retake FaZe goes for, as this is one of my favorite plays to do when you have a lurker on either CT or T side, and that is to call a freeze. So what is a freeze? A freeze call is a tactic that tells your teammate to freeze up and not go for any fights, as they will still hold what they are holding, but not try to aggress anything or take any control. As we can see, Simple will still hold for the smoke cross as there is an opening there, while Elite and Kerrigan will stay on catwalk without taking it fully. But the key here is to make sure you are still ready if the other team wants to peek you and try to push you. And this is a call FaZe goes for, as Rain has snuck his way behind Heroic on long, so they want to wait and see what he can do first, as a lurk like this can win the round on the spot. But to make the freeze perfect, you have to make the other side believe no one can come behind. So here FaZe will do it, with Simple holding the cross, Elite finding Linus, as he is not really aggressing anything, but just jiggles for the kills, and after he gets it he falls back, as well as Kerrigan using utility on short. So here we'll see Heroic's players are focusing this part of the map, and when you are only 2 players, they kind of want to be able to trade or hold both short and spawn, meaning no one can look for long. Rain on all of this is fast to get long, and here Rain spots the op, and he could have tried a trigger discipline play, but it's a 4v2. It's no reason for him to trying to be the champion and farm a highlight. that will end in the next Trigger Discipline Clips of 2025 highlights reel, as he instantly kills the AWPer and can find Teneer in ramp to win the round. So a perfect call for the freeze play. And Elige finding Linus so early on really sold this play perfect, so a great ad from him. FaZe are dominating Heroic as they're up 5-1, but this can always turn around. So will Heroic be able in this round to actually turn it around? As winning this will put FaZe quite back as their money is not the best. FaZe will go for 3 players long, use a Molotov and a peek like this, and the other long players will be ready with flashes for the peek and re-aggression if they have to. Then FaZe are sending 2 players closer to B, as here they want to smoke the mid cross so Heroic can't see how many goes B, and create some mystery to the FaZe setup. As FaZe will have Rain on B like always, while Frozen plays in this limbo spot, as he can easily help on B, as well as helping with the mid hold if needed. And this is what allows FaZe to leave mid and short open early. Heroic goes for a default of having 3 players towards middle and then 2 lower, so we can see Heroic wants to win mid control in this round, as Rain will use this deep Molotov to not allow Heroic any early B site information. While FaZe wins long control, they will still keep Kerrigan on long while Simple the AWPer will stay on car, as car is one of the strongest positions you can play with an AWP if you are holding short. And then Elige will go back to spawn and help in middle. So a 1-1-3 setup is now a 1-2-2 from FaZe, as they want to give Heroic short control to funnel them into Simple, as this is how much they believe in the guy. For the short and catwalk take from Heroic, they will use his Xbox smoke, and I hate it. But in this round it works, as Heroic will not have to deal with any players towards short peeking. But you have to remember, the Xbox smoke is out of the meta, as when using it you open yourself up for a peek from the CT side like this, as the new boxes in spawn allows this fast peek that the CT can do solo and not needing a boost, as the Xbox smoke makes it so the underground players can't see this peek and hold for it. And this is why the door smoke is the one that is much more used these days. But you have to think like Heroic, this smoke will at least stop Elige and his short jump for information towards underground. So versus FaZe, it works, I guess. Heroic goes for the short flash, and here is met by a Molotov from Simple, and this almost kills Linus, as he was team flashed, not ideal. Heroic goes for the short smoke, and just wants to push out, as Youngster has left the B lurk, and all control Heroic has is on short. And here FaZe needs Simple to shine, as this is why they are not contesting short to win it from Heroic. And here Simple smokes himself on car, as this smokes gives him kind of a one-way, allows him to play an off angle and keeps him safe for any Molotovs towards car and allowed to just fall back easily, so the smoke has multiple purposes. And in between the flashes Heroic throws, Simple shines and finds the first kill to Linus, while Elige finds the player from Heroic jumping down to spawn, as they did not throw the full-on smokes to block CT out fully, and FaZe are up 5v3. And with one trade, FaZe goes for the retake and Heroic can't do anything. Well, this is how you read the enemy perfect, and we're about to see it from Rain, and this is beautiful, but let's go back to the start. It's 8-2, so nothing has worked for Heroic, so they default to the good old B rush, when Rain, the player Simple said Heroic would never be able to beat, well he shows them why. FaZe seems almost ready for a B rush, as he will send 1 player long, 1 on short and 2 bottom middle with Rain alone on B, so he will have players who can quickly rotate from middle for the retake. But if Rain is the anchor, why is he playing here? Well, FaZe knows the money is not the best for Heroic, so here Rain does not want to get smoked off on site and just boxed in alone and ran down, as that would give Heroic an extra gun to hold off the retake. And here Rain goes for the Molotov here towards tunnel and then lines up this smoke for tunnel, before he goes here to hold off the execute. As he is gambling, Heroic will go for the default B rush or pushing out before the smoke blooms, as this catches the B anchor usually off guard, as well as allows the T side to look into middle before it's smoked off, to get some information on how FaZe will play the retake. But why is Rain here on this exact position? Well, by being here, he is in an off angle that will not be cleared by Heroic fast. As well as he uses the left side of the door and the top arch thing here above him and the door to block out all the flashes, as when you go for a rush before the smokes bloom, you are kind of putting all the cards on the flashes doing the work for you, something Rain bypasses fully in his position. And Rain finds 2 kills from no trades, putting what should have been a 5v5 or worst case for Heroic 4v4 retake into a 3v5 now for Heroic. That's never ideal. And in desperation, before being boxed in, we will see Fluid try to peek window, but he is found. And from this, the retake is as smooth as butter. When this round started, my friend who I was watching the match with said, this will be a classic FaZe Deagle round, and he was spot on. FaZe starts early by having 2 players go lower, and then 3 players taking top middle, meaning FaZe really wants to just win mid control and then play from there, as FaZe wants to be able to take some long range fights with the Deagles. Heroic are going for an AWP, while they are overconfident, which is kinda insane considering they are down 3-10, but an early AWP can easily give them this round and hopefully more, but this is risky. Heroic will send 2 players towards B, then have 1 go long, while the last 2 will go towards short to take the early fights, as they are thinking FaZe will play the round slow. And here to really help the long take, Fluid before he goes short will line up this smoke here to smoke off the doors and help Linus to win it. The AWP goes for the peek and here Simple can tag him up before Sunpayas will find the first kill. But Fluid rushes down and here Sunpayas and Fluid end up blocking each other, just long enough for Kerrigan to walk up on Cat and tag down Sunpayas again and Fluid, while a leech on all of this chaos is able to kill Teneer, running to middle to help his players on short. As he was headed to B but rotated to middle when he heard the Deagles and saw the kill coming in from Sunpayas. But with the damage and this 1 kill, Heroic are forced to play more passive, as they can't keep on losing players. That would be disastrous for them in this round where they have invested everything into winning it. FaZe goes for a split with the short player making contact first to try to allow Rain to take the long fight. And Fluid is found, as he's just playing a very easy angle to predict and peek with a Deagle. But Rain and Kerrigan is found as well, so it's all left to Frozen in the 1v3. But remember, Sunpayas is low and Linus on long got tagged down to 6 HP, and this is Heroic's downfall. Frozen wants to find any type of opening as he will fake plant in hope of Heroic overstepping, but they don't, so he's forced to plant, and with the fake plant gamble, Heroic are getting closer and closer to him. On the plant, he does the unthinkable. Both low players lines up and Frozen finds a 2-in-1 with the Deagle and perfectly predict where Youngster will be next, and Frozen blows Heroic out of the water with his 1v3. Are FaZe back or not? Well, this is only stage 2, so we have to wait until at least stage 3 if they make it that far, as I'm making this video right before FaZe are about to meet Legacy for the 3-0 win in stage 2. But we can tell this FaZe is a team that is looking for a trophy, as they look hungry for it. Thank you for watching, and here are 2 videos YouTube told me you would like. Bye.